Hello there and welcome. I'm Kelly from Hope in the Chaos and welcome to Hopeful Homeschooling, where we find help, hope, and a little humor in every homeschool day. If we have never met before, as I said, my name is Kelly and I am a homeschooler from Maine. I have four children, two of whom are homeschool graduates. My family and I have been homeschooling for more than a decade. And so I have plenty of tidbits, um, tips, and tricks to share with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be talking about the three things that you need if you want to start homeschooling today. Now, I know you're probably thinking, how can you start homeschooling today? Right? Don't you need a bunch of things? Right? Don't we need to have a perfectly curated schedule and all of the curricula already picked out? No, friend, you don't. And like I said, we've been homeschooling for more than a decade, and I was there. I was right where you were one time. Stressed, frustrated, overwhelmed. And we are in a series on what you need to start homeschooling. And today I'm going to encourage you to bite the bullet, right? As the expression goes, and see that you already have what you need. All right. So, and I am reading from notes, so please forgive me for the mistakes and errors, right? Wherever you are listening to, before we get too far into this, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, or share. This, I'm not supposed to say this, right? This is a newer channel and we are just getting started here. But your girl has the gift of gab. And well, I love writing. Video or podcasting tends to allow me to share a little bit more of what I want to say, and I can share right from the heart. It also means that it's off the cuff. So sometimes I'm not sure if I'm saying the right things. But trust me, it's all coming from a good place. It's coming from a deep desire that I have to help you make homeschooling simple. So, with that being said, here we go. I'm going to share with you what I truly wish I had known over this series. We're looking at somewhere between 7 and 10 videos. Um, and I want to share what I wish I had known back then. I'm going to share the mistakes. I'm going to share the errors. I'm going to kind of lay it all out so that you don't have to spend the years that I spent fumbling and flailing and wondering if, because homeschooling was hard, if it was wrong for us. Just because something is hard, friend, doesn't mean that it's not a good fit. It means you need to learn. It means you might need to try something different. And it definitely means you need a good community around you. So, I understand when you are embarking on a homeschool journey, you want to make sure you do it right. You are feeling the pressure of the education of your child. And it's a lot, but it doesn't mean you have to know everything right away. It doesn't mean that you're not ready to start now. By the end of today's video, I want you to know that you already have everything you need to start homeschooling your child, regardless of age, regardless of the time of this year it is, right? We're recording this for January. So we're looking at homeschoolers who are looking to start in the middle of the school year, which I was one of those mid-year starts, or whether it's the summer. You are perfectly capable of starting, whether it's pre-K and you've never been into the public school, or even if you're up into some of those higher grades, including high school. Um, you don't need flashy curriculum. You don't need brand new folders and pristine boxes of crayons. You don't need a fancy homeschool room. You need these three things. And then I'm going to add one more thing at the end that's going to help you with those three things. Now, if this sounds too good to be true, friend, I get it. I really do. Your inner skeptic, it's there. It's wondering, why are you even watching this video if she's saying you don't need more than three things, right? But deep down inside, I think you already know. All of the research, all of the digging, all of the late nights where you're looking up the answers to the questions that perhaps you're afraid to ask, or if you're in Facebook groups using anonymous because you don't want anyone to know. And I get it. It's bold of me to assume that you already have what you need. But remember, I am a veteran homeschool mom. Doesn't mean I know everything. Please don't mistake that. Years of homeschooling does not make me an expert. I am still learning. Okay. I'm learning right alongside you. And I share what I learn and I share our experiences so that you can learn through me and perhaps have an easier ride than we did. Like I said, we started homeschooling more than a decade ago, and I have two graduates. So we've done all the grades, we've done all the things learning to read, multiplication, geography, history. We've done science experiments and electives. We've collected college credit or high school credits, I'm sorry, and put together college transcripts. We've done graduation ceremonies. We've done it all. Um, and so when I say I'm a veteran homeschool mom, it just means I've got some experience behind me. And I have learned over the years of homeschooling that when we keep it simple and when we use our authentic homeschool and we really dig deep into who we are rather than trying to copy everyone else, we can get back to the roots of what home education is supposed to be. Now, what is that? Well, it's an authentic education. It's an authentic childhood for your children. It's authentic motherhood for you. And it's just an enjoyable time. Doesn't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows. No, this is parenting. This is family. This is raising children. And of course, this is taking on their educational needs. So, yeah, there's going to be some hiccups, friend, but we can get through that. You can find the right homeschool advocates, whether that's myself or someone else, and we can help you along the way. You can find in-person groups in your area, co-ops, umbrella schools, homeschool support. You can find that, and you can mix online support with in-person support and find who you are and how you like to homeschool. So, what are those three things? I keep telling you I'm going to share these three things, and I know you want to hear them, right? So, let's dig in, friend, so that you can start homeschooling today or maybe tomorrow, depending on when you're reading this. So, homeschooling, friend, it's simpler than you think. It's, I know we like to talk about how complex and complicated it can be. I'm trying to get back to my notes. I lost them. I have too many tabs. There we go. Homeschooling doesn't have to be complicated. Like I said, it doesn't have to be complex or in depth. And yes, you need to take it seriously, right? It's not a joke. You are making sure that your child is prepared for their adult life, but getting started, all right? And I'm talking just ripping the band-aid off, taking those first few steps, diving in. That's the part that doesn't have to be complicated. And so many times when we're on Pinterest or searching through Google, the stuff that comes up, it tells us we need to have the perfectly curated homeschool room. They say that, I don't have a homeschool room, friend, and we've been homeschooling for more than a decade. I am proof that you can homeschool from your kitchen table. And there are countless other homeschoolers out there doing it from the table or the couch or the minivan or the park. Homeschooling's flexible. So, what are the three things that you need? Well, friend, the first is a library card. Yeah, library card. This is your most powerful homeschool resource, friend, because your library gives you access to free education. There's books and audiobooks, documentaries, classes, resources. The sky's the limit. And really, it's limited by where you live. I live in small rural Maine, so we have a small library, but they still have so many amazing books, books that haven't been checked out for years, right? They have original copies of books from the early 1900s that have crinkled paper and handmade bindings. They're glorious and they're amazing, right? The library, though, it is your access to free education, to free learning. It doesn't cost you anything. Almost every town in America has a free public library. So if you don't have your library card, friend, go get one. Go grab your library card. Okay. Go pick up the one resource that is going to give you access to more things than you can ever imagine without you spending a dime. Hmm. All right. I was looking through my notes. I thought I had something else to add to that, but I didn't. All right. So, number one, your library card. Number two, you need a sense of adventure, friend. Yeah. You need to be willing to jump in. You need to be willing to learn alongside your children. And I'm going to tell you right now that whether you are just starting your homeschool journey or maybe you're just looking for a reset, homeschooling works best when we stop trying to recreate public school and simply embrace learning as a part of life. Homeschooling works best when we follow curiosity, right? When we understand that our children have questions and that the world is enticing, it is engaging, and it is ready to teach us. When we remember that curiosity matters more than checklists, that's when you transition from just schooling at home to homeschooling. So, what does this look like in reality? Well, it looks like going to the library, checking out a book. Maybe your child's interested in bugs. Maybe they want to know more about colors. Perhaps you're thinking about gardening. And so your family wants to talk about gardening. Maybe you're going to grab a book on planting and zones and seedlings. Perhaps your child is interested in chickens, right? Our family, we recently got backyard chickens. And so my daughter especially is learning all she can about chickens and species and breeds and eggs and just, she's even writing a book, right? And that's that sense of adventure, right? We've, we get books. She does research online, safely, of course, right? But there we go. We are following because we know curiosity breeds the best learning. So number one, you need a library card. Number two, a sense of adventure, friend. And what is number three? Number three is going to be whatever hot beverage you like to put in this cup. Me, I like tea, right? And I've got a nice hot cup of tea right here because we have a day of recording going on, right? But if you like coffee, if you like tea, if you prefer water, right? Whatever beverage you like to accompany your day, whatever's going to help you to breathe. And just remember, you don't have to have it all together to homeschool well. Okay. Now, friend, you don't need, I think I've already said this, but we'll say it again because it's in the notes. You don't need a Pinterest-worthy homeschool room. You can homeschool from the couch. You can homeschool from the table. You can homeschool on the go while you're in the car or at the park. Sometimes we've been known to grab a blanket in our read aloud. We go up to the local park, we read for a half hour, and then the kids play. Okay. You don't need a box curriculum for every subject. And I know I love curriculum. I am a curriculum junkie. I love to review curriculum. I love to try new things, but it's okay to start without it. And in fact, if you're withdrawing from public school, I'm going to encourage you to start without a curriculum. That is called deschooling. And that's something I have a whole post on over on my website, hopeinthechaos.com. And it talks about how deschooling, getting out of that public school mindset is so vital to starting, especially when you're pulling out of the public school system. So you can start without it. And you don't need to know what you are doing for the next 12 years, 10 years, 5 years. You don't even need to know what you're going to do on Friday. You know, friend, you can start homeschooling today. And especially if you are still in the middle of your Christmas break, I'm going to encourage you, if you have the desire to homeschool, don't send them. Keep them home. They don't have to go back. In fact, this is the perfect time for mid-year homeschooling to begin because they've already been out of public school for a few days. They've already been away from that, and you can start just being family. You can start the deschooling process. And I'm going to make sure that I link to that blog post for you in the show notes so that you can learn a bit more about deschooling. We don't have time to get into it here, but I'm going to link it in the show notes. So wherever you're listening or watching, you can look into that. But you absolutely 100% can start today. Is that terrifying? A little exciting? Did you know, and this isn't even in my notes, but did you know that excitement and fear is actually the same chemical reaction inside your body? So perhaps what you're thinking of, what you are feeling, and you think it's fear, perhaps it's just excitement. Perhaps it's those good nervous butterflies because you know that what you're about to do is the absolute next right thing for your family. Now, friend, if you are ready to dig in, if you are ready to start your homeschool journey, I do encourage you. Grab that library card if you don't have it. Obviously, if the library is not open because perhaps, maybe you're multitasking, right? Now, I know I Ooh, I take in podcasts and YouTube videos. I take in a lot of audio learning while I'm multitasking. So if you are folding laundry, vacuuming your house, washing dishes, if you're doing something other than completely listening, this is me saying just come back for a second, right? If you are multitasking, just pause what you're doing because this is the big takeaway right here. Okay. The three things you need: your library card. So go get it as soon as this is over or tomorrow morning when the library's open. Two, remember, parenting is an adventure. You need to embrace it and it is okay. Three, if you want to order one of those fun homeschooling mom water tumblers or coffee cups, put it in your cart. It is your first teacher gift to yourself. Okay. And teacher gifts are totally allowed. But, and here's the big takeaway, this is where I can help you most moving into this next step. I have a free 5 simple steps to get started homeschooling download for you. It is a PDF workbook, and you and I are together going to go through why you want to homeschool, how to find the laws, how to really take all of that anxiety and trepidation. We're going to work through it together. Because, friend, you can start homeschooling today. You've got your library card, you've got your sense of adventure, and I know you've got a perfect drink container. So you can start the journey. But if you grab those 5 simple steps, we can continue working and giving you the confidence that you need to homeschool. So I'm going to link that below in the show notes, and I do hope that you grab it. Friend, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Hopeful Homeschooling. I'm Kelly Warner with Hope in the Chaos, and I hope you have a wonderful day.